Today is day 11 for my Bonne Maman advent calendar. Let's see what's behind door number 11. Counter cooking. No kitchen, no problem. Here's door number 11 near the center of the calendar. And this says, celebrate those you love. I keep forgetting to see what the door says. And this is Apricot Lavender Spread. I have not had this flavor before, and this is what it looks like. Last year they had an apricot bergamot spread, which was really good. Let's see how the apricot lavender spread is. To me, it's kind of similar to the apricot bergamot spread. There's definitely lavender flavor. I'm not always the biggest fan of lavender flavor in food, just because I'm so used to using lavender in other ways. But this is very good. Today I want to try out my new Dash Express mini cupcake maker. I bought this at Target several weeks ago, and I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. The box says it is an express mini cupcake maker. It makes 9 1¼ inch mini cupcakes. It has an easy lifting tray and a non-stick surface. This one is lavender. I think it's the same size as the Dash Mini Donut Maker. And I just plugged it in because whenever I get a new appliance like this, I like to plug it in and just let it heat up for a while and burn off some of the chemical coating on the non-stick surfaces. I'm not a fan of non-stick surfaces, but I really like the ease and convenience of these Dash products. So the only time I use non-stick surfaces is when I'm using one of these products. So if we open it up, this is what the inside looks like. So here we have like 2 silicone handles for this tray, and look, it's just like holes. So I'm assuming that the cupcakes, or in this case muffins, are going to grow big enough that they rise over the top of this, and then you could just easily take them out. And that's what it looks like without this tray in. You could probably use it without the tray also, but it comes with the tray. And then that's what the top looks like. It has like these rounded compartments on the top to form the top of the cupcake or muffin. So my goal today is to make some corn muffins, only because I'm in the mood for corn muffins, and pretty much any of the fruit spreads in this calendar would go really well with corn muffins. So why not make them today, since I'm definitely in the mood for them. So I'm going to let this heat up for a while. I'll be back in like 20 or 30 minutes. It's only been a minute or two since I've had this plugged in, and I already smell the chemicals coming off of it. I'm going to put a fan on, and I'll be back in about 20 or 30 minutes. For the corn muffins, I want to use my einkorn flour and also my masa harina. And I found a recipe online that uses both. So I have 1 cup of einkorn flour, and I'm adding a cup of the masa harina. Masa harina is a very finely ground corn flour. It's actually prepared different than cornmeal. It is prepared with like calcium or lime, using like ancient methods. I believe it's called nixtamalization, and that makes it higher in vitamin and mineral content. So I like to use that instead of regular cornmeal. There's our mixture. I want to add some salt. It calls for a teaspoon of salt, but I think that's going to be way too salty for me, so I'm only adding like 1/8 of a teaspoon. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 2 tablespoons of honey. The original recipe calls for maple syrup, so that could be used also, but I like honey, so I'm adding 2 tablespoons. And I just did that wrong. So I'm supposed to add the wet ingredients separately. I'm supposed to mix the dry ingredients and then mix the wet ingredients. But I already did it wrong, so I'm just going to keep doing it wrong. 1 egg. 1 cup of almond milk. The recipe calls for almond milk, but I would assume you could use regular milk also. The recipe calls for 1/3 cup of melted butter, but I'm going to use olive oil instead. I've seen recipes with similar ingredients using olive oil, so I want to see how that comes out. That's 1/8 cup. That's 1/4 cup. That's 1/3 cup. Now I'm going to mix this all together. This batter came out super thick, so we're gonna see how it does. I have to get a smaller spoon to use in this mini cupcake maker. Here's a mini cupcake maker, and I grabbed some long teaspoons, like iced teaspoons. I'm just putting like a teaspoon in each one, or a heaping teaspoon in each one. I wonder if the one in the middle is gonna cook faster, like the donut maker. So this is the first time I'm trying this recipe, and it's the first time I'm trying this appliance. So we'll see what happens on both fronts. So there we go. Let's shut this. It's been about 5 minutes, and it smells like these corn muffins might be done. Let's open this up and see what's going on. Look how cute these are. Oh my gosh, and look how nicely brown they are. This is adorable. Now, will they come up? Are they done? Look at that. Look. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Okay, let's pick them up and put them on a plate. Just drop them on a plate, and look at that. You could take them right out. Oh my gosh, look how cute. They're like little bite-sized muffins. So now let's make more. I'm gonna end up with a lot of these little muffins. I have a lot of batter here. I think I might have filled the second round with a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. While the second batch is cooking, let's take a look at what's going on here. So like this one has some batter that leaked out. That's fine, you could just take that off. And here's the smallest little one. I'm gonna take the biggest one. Let me get a knife. That's what it looks like inside. Looks really good. And of course now I'm gonna taste it. These are really nice. What I like about them is that they're not really crumbly. If you've ever tried to make a corn muffin only using masa harina, they come out really crumbly. But by combining the masa with the einkorn flour, we don't get that crumbliness. And because there's only 2 tablespoons of honey in here, they're not very sweet at all. So they'll go perfect with some fruit spread. And they're a really cute size. They're really only like a 2-bite muffin. The olive oil worked really well. I don't taste olive oil when I eat these. They're crispy on the outside and nice and moist inside. It's been 5 minutes, so let's check the second round of muffins. And that's what they look like. Beautiful. They're a little bit darker than the first round. Here's our third round. Here's a plate with the 2 batches of muffins. The first batch is on the right. Notice that they're smaller. And the second batch is on the left. They're noticeably bigger because I filled each little muffin cup up with more batter. It's been 4.5 minutes for this third batch. I think that's good. Here's the fourth batch. I'm getting kind of messy with it. Let's see what happens. Here's the final batch. They look good. So what I've been doing is using this smaller plate to kind of dump the muffins on and then moving them from here to the larger platter. And for some reason, there they go. They were stuck to this for a minute. Look at that one. This is all like overly filled. Yeah, so if you get messy with the batter, then it really kind of sticks around the edges. So it pays to be neater. I have a little bit of extra batter, so I thought I would see what happens if I try to make a muffin in my Dash mini pie maker, because the shape of this pie maker is really like the shape of a cupcake or a muffin. So I'm going to use whatever is left of this batter and put it in here, and let's just see what happens. There it is. I don't know how much it's going to rise or if it's going to meet the top of this, but I'll be back in about 8 minutes. I would think because this is much larger, it would take longer to cook. And in the past, when I've tried to make a cupcake in this mini pie maker, the inside of it came out raw. So I don't know if That was just because I didn't bake it long enough, so we'll see what happens with this. Meanwhile, here are all of my mini corn muffins. They're so cute. So I made 4 batches. There's 9 in each batch. So I have 36 mini corn muffins. So I'll be able to keep these in my refrigerator and just eat one whenever I feel like it. Or I could even freeze some of these and keep them in the freezer. And I'm really looking forward to trying these with today's fruit spread. I'm going to grab one of the larger ones. And I'm going to cut it in half. They're really small, so I have to be careful. It is so cute. These are like appetizer size portions. Just like a little bite. I'm just putting a little bit of the fruit spread on them. Look how cute. Yeah, the added sweetness of the fruit spread perfectly complements these muffins. And the apricot lavender is really nice. Let's check out this corn muffin. It's been baking for at least 16 minutes now. And that's what it looks like. It's nicely brown, so I'm going to unplug this. And from the side, we could see that it's kind of flat, but that's okay. Here's the larger muffin from the pie maker. Let's cut this open and see how it did inside. I mean, it's really narrow, so I don't even know if I can cut this open. We're going to try. It's going to make 2 really thin slices. It looks like it came out good. It's cooked all the way through. And this kind of reminds me of a muffin top. If you've ever just bought like a muffin top, that's what this reminds me of. So at least I know I can make muffin tops in this Dash mini pie maker. Maybe I'll try it again someday with more batter and see how it comes out. In the meantime, I'm just going to taste one of these and see how it is. It's delicious. I definitely get the corn muffin flavor. The inside is nice and moist from the olive oil. The outside is crispy. Now let me grab my spread. That looks good. Yeah, that's a really nice bite with the apricot lavender fruit spread on this Einkorn Masa muffin. So good. I'm definitely going to be enjoying these. And so that's what I did with the fruit spread in my Bonne Maman advent calendar today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see what else we can make with the fruit spreads in this Bonne Maman advent calendar. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.